Hey guys! Today we have something super special to share with you guys. During our days exploring all of the Bay Area's finest ice creams, we stumbled across Nirvana, which is an ice cream store like tribute to all of India's great sweet desserts. But while we were there, we noticed this super packed restaurant next door and we were just like, what is this Chaat Bhavan place? So we vowed to ourselves that we were going to check it out, and when we did, it also happened to be like a very historic moment for us. It was actually the last time we went out to eat with friends. It was the Sunday night before shelter-in-place orders took place in California when COVID started for us, essentially. So it was the last time we actually ate out and saw people, and life was still normal for us.
So to those friends, the last time we ate out with those friends, y'all hella lucky. Just know.
Since there, we've, ordered a couple of takeout times, but this is the first time we're going back into the restaurant and getting to eat inside again. So we wanted to take you guys along with us and to share this wonderful, magical place.
But first, a quick shout out to all our new friends here on this channel. Welcome. We are Adventures of Carlian. I'm Carl. This is Adrian, and we're all about pursuing our passions, trying to get better, improve ourselves every day, just a little bit or a lot of bit. If you're always down for our struggles, our successes, and just like watching us weirdly, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and join this crazy adventure.
Chaat Bhavan opened in Fremont in 2009 when Gary Singh noticed that, and sorry if I said his name wrong, but he noticed that there weren't any good home-style vegetarian restaurants around, so that's what he created. And even though we're not vegetarian by any definition, everything that's there is like so packed with flavor that you don't feel like you're missing anything out. So we think it's a really good introduction to Sans Meat meals. We're so glad that they're still doing strong through this time, and they actually have multiple locations open. So let's get going, let's get to Fremont and show you why you have to check out Chaat Bhavan.
Later that day.
So we are super stuffed and trying not to fall into a food coma. We ordered about 4 dishes and it was like so much.
4 dishes, 3 types of breads.
Yeah. To give you guys a plethora of tantalizing options. Yeah, so let's just kind of, share our favorite dishes or our impressions. It was Carl and my second time, the first being our first time just before COVID happened, and it was interesting because indoor dining, at least at the moment, is pretty normal, I would say, and it felt, we were spaced out from other folks, but it didn't feel any particular way. Yeah, so I think we ordered some favorites like the BAIGAN BHARTHA, and so sorry if we're pronouncing them. No, sorry, because I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, not if. I'm pretty sure it's wrong, so feel free to send us clips of the correct pronunciation for those of you who can. That would be super helpful. As you guys know, I have a huge love for eggplant, and we've been also testing recipes at home to see if we can make it ourselves. That's always a classic that we try to order if they offer it. According to other recipes, you're supposed to roast the eggplant on an open flame, kind of how you blacken peppers and stuff like that. But when we are at home, we don't have an open flame to roast our eggplants, so we baked it. Definitely doesn't lend that same, smoky, rich flavor, really earthy flavor. So I think that for sure is one of them. And texturally, it was a lot creamier. So I don't know if it's just because, when you blacken the eggplant, it gets that melty, or if they just pulverized the eggplant. So that's something we'll have to experiment with. And of course, they do use chilies, or rather jalapenos specifically. We asked the guy and he did confirm. I think it's still my favorite dish ever.
It's my favorite too. I also love eggplant. And I think this is one of those dishes that for somebody who doesn't like eggplant, maybe because of the texture, you might not even be able to tell that it's eggplant. But I'm saying this as somebody who loves eggplant, so I don't know. But it's because it's been cooked down so much that it's just a really creamy and smooth sauce. So it kind of just like melts in your mouth too when you eat it. It's a good beginner eggplant dish to start, you know, introducing you to eggplant.
Welcome to the dark side. Yeah, any favorites or surprises for you, Peggy?
By the way, hi guys, I'm behind the camera. I'm here.
Well, that doesn't matter. This is Peggy though.
I tried their mango lassi for the first time, which I have to say is very good. It came and it was like super duper yellow, so you can tell that they probably use fresh mangoes, and you could definitely taste it as well. It was super fragrant and just really refreshing when you have a lot of like really rich flavors. I think one of my favorites is still aloo gobi, because that's just something that my family and I always order whenever we get Indian food. The first time I ever heard of it was from the movie Bend It Like Beckham.
Well, anyone could cook aloo gobi, but who can bend a ball like Beckham?
And I didn't know what it was back then, but I tried it when we saw it on a menu, and we've been getting it ever since. And that's just a really solid option, especially the way that they do it at Chaat Bhavan. It's one of the only like not so saucy dishes. Everything else that we got was pretty saucy. So it's nice to have something that kind of breaks it up a bit.
If you've never had it before, it's almost like a sauteed, roasted cauliflower. Cauliflower itself is very bland, right? We all know, like, no one's craving cauliflower typically. It's like when you add all those spices, it's one of the most like savory, satisfying dishes.
Yeah, and there's chunks of potato in there too, so it's kind of like a textural contrast.
Yeah.
We didn't get it with the peas because peas are gross and only good for icing or injuries, but if you like peas, you know, go ahead.
Go ahead and order it with the peas. What else? Oh, and then we tried their special, the Malai paneer. Yeah, very good.
It was like a creamy sauce. I think it was like slightly sweet, for me at least, with big chunks of paneer in it, which I always think, being a Chinese person, I always think it's tofu at first glance.
Especially those like that big of a chunk.
Yeah,
Normally
and the same
it's-
color.
No, but very delicious
Very good.
dish, and it's like their signature paneer dish.
I would equate it almost, I don't know if this is like blasphemous, but I would equate it almost to like, vodka sauce for pasta, because it's that like tomato-y, creamy sort of sauce.
Yeah.
So you kind of get the best of both worlds with like the kind of like acidic flavors, but also creamy. So I really like those like pink sauces.
Well, that's actually probably a good equation for someone who's like maybe not had Indian food. Yeah, that's like a very safe, like it's not spicy, no sour notes to it. Unlike the, what was it called?
KADHI pakora?
Yeah, something pakora.
Yeah.
Which had like these vegetable fritters inside of like a sort of like curry gravy sauce, but it was a little bit more sour, had some, tangy notes to it. For those who don't like sour, maybe not the right dish for you, but if you pair it with the paneer paratha, which is the bread that's stuffed with cheese, it goes very well together.
Also, the pakora in there added like a really interesting texture to it. It almost made it taste like meat, or the texture of it was like meat, because it was like a fried fritter that was drenched in the sauce.
I think like all the dishes, you don't really feel like there's anything missing from them, because they are so like full, so rich, very hearty.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts?
Good. Eating at Chaat Bhavan was really good, really tasty. I think my favorite was the paneer that was stuffed inside the bread. Could probably eat that whole thing by myself, but I decided to share because I'm nice. The second favorite was their house special, the Malai paneer. All of my favorites are paneer. I'm a cheesy guy. And yeah, the mango lassi is always on point, always hits the spot. I believe they do have other lassis. We didn't get a drink menu, so we don't really know, but we just went straight for the mango lassi because we haven't had it in a while.
I honestly loved all three breads that we got. I'm also just a huge bread person in general, so I think that may have contributed to it. But I think surprisingly the onion kulcha was really good. Compared to the paratha, the onion kulcha was less oily, I feel like. So it was more like bready.
Oh, yeah,
I think
more
the
like
paratha was
naan.
more like, it reminded me more like a green onion pancake, like that sort of thing. Kulcha dough felt more like the naan dough, so it had more chew to it. The onion bits in it gave it like some sweetness, which was really good too. Some added texture.
And it goes with all the dishes.
Yeah.
So that's something like, you know, when I pick, like, when you pick your naan, you're like, oh, I don't want to get something that's like going to clash with my other dishes. I mean, generally they probably will never really clash, but the onion does go with like everything. So I actually liked that more than the garlic naan, I would say.
I think so too, surprisingly. I thought I would like the garlic the best, but I mean, garlic is always solid. I do appreciate their garlic naan wasn't too oily though. Like there was a layer of, I think, probably ghee on top that added to the flavors a lot, but some garlic naans you get that's like glistening on top. It just makes it difficult to eat.
Our waiter was definitely very, very nice. He was asking if we were photographers or whatever. We told him, you know, we're on YouTube. Man, we gave him one of our stickers, and right then and there, he just like searched it up on YouTube and then subscribed. See, that's how it should be all the time. If you ever go out and be like seeing people with like a mic and a camera and you're like, oh, are you on YouTube? And they're like, yeah, you should follow me. And then like, yeah, I'll follow you. Yeah, you should follow right then and there. Don't wait till you go home and you're on the crapper and then search for YouTube and like, oh, I forgot what that dude's name was. Oh, well. Eating out today at Chaat Bhavan was really nice. I think I just liked the whole experience in general. All the food was on point. I can't really say very much to it. Honestly, just trying to avoid saying the names. So what do you guys think about Chaat Bhavan? It's a pretty, well, for you guys, it looks really tasty, doesn't it? We promise you it was very delicious. I'm someone who really, really likes meat, but honestly, I didn't miss meat that whole meal. So let us know in the comments which dishes you want to try. Hopefully you guys can make it out to one of their locations. All of their info is in the description. And until the next Bay Area local food series video episode thing comes up, we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.